I'm going to talk about importing nickel from China into the U.S. You need just basic documents. You're going to need the bill of lading, which is basically stating the weights, the weight, the dimensions, the destination, basically with the consignee and the shipper. And then also the packing list of what's in the shipment as far as goods, commercial invoices stating the value of the goods, pro forma invoices, certificate of origins, so you know where the goods are coming from. So you know where the goods are coming from, and then an inward cargo manifest, which basically allows you to bring the freight into the United States, stating what's on the container, and then also an entry summary, which enters the goods into the United States 24 hours in advance of the shipment. I'm going to talk about exporting goods out of the United States into China, and to get the goods outside the United States, you need a bill of lading, same as I talked about before, a packing list, commercial invoice, certificate of origin, and the big thing that you need to do is you need to file for an SED, which is a shipper's export declaration. You get online through AES, and that allows you to go online and fill out the shipper's export declaration and export your shipment outside the United States.
Okay, I'm going to talk about importing tobacco from the U.S. into China. And basically, as we've already been over a couple times, still need the same bill of lading, packing list, commercial invoice, pro forma invoice, certificate of origin, and the non-wood packing materials declaration, which we've already been over a couple times, so exactly what they are. In addition to those, the automatic import license of the People's Republic of China, an application form. It's 2 different forms that need to be filled out in Chinese and available from the Ministry of Commerce. These forms are necessary to import any type of goods into China and are valid for 6 months from the time that they are issued. The other one is the Import Inspection and Quarantine Application Form, and this also needs to be filled out in Chinese. Certain goods are required to be inspected and quarantined upon import into China, and there's a long list of them depending on what materials they are, or if they're agricultural products, or what kind of rules and regulations the Chinese government has. Also, in addition to this, the importer needs a commercial invoice, bill of lading, and a packing list attached to the inspection application in order to facilitate the inspection itself.
I'm going to talk about exporting our goods from San Marcos to China. We had one 40-foot container weighing 23,000 pounds. It moved with OOCL Ocean Lines out of Long Beach. Our transit time was 24 days by ocean, 30 to 35 days for door-to-door delivery. These are a list of our costs for moving: $500 for pickup, ocean freight, clean truck fee, Pure Pass delivery fees, custom net entry came up to a total of $3,968. This is our nickel moving from China to San Marcos. We had one 20-foot container weighing 60,156 pounds. They considered it overweight. It was one 20-foot. They considered it extremely heavy, and there's a couple of weird little things with it. The transit time is 24 days, 30 to 35 days door to door. The pickup charges, ocean freight, same thing, clean truck fee delivery, and customs entry. And that's it.
Okay. What about China itself? An introduction on China as a country.
As far as what, like their economy and their unemployment?
Yeah.
I can tell you some more stuff about it. Let's see, like as far as their unemployment rate goes, unemployment rate's actually been rising. Right now, currently in the workforce going to come in 2008-2009 period, they said right now an estimated unemployment rate is about 4%, but they have a huge quantity of individuals coming into the workforce. So I think they said it was anywhere from about 7 million people new coming in each year. And the thing is, that doesn't account for rural or urban areas, which is the majority of the population. If you guys see their population as a country standard, they're extremely rich, really, really wealthy. But when you start breaking it down to an individual person, their per capita income, it's really low. It's about 2,000 maybe per individual, and that's what makes up the majority of the people. So if you
Okay.
take it per individual, it's really, really low, but as a nation, it's extremely high. When that also contributes to their industries, even though they're pumping out so much money and so many products and a bunch of different industries and services, per industry, they're actually a low quantity. Their machinery is really low quality compared to like the US, who doesn't have as much, but they're able to pump out a lot more using more sophisticated machinery. And then also to go along with unemployment or deflation or their exchange rates, their exchange rates a little bit, they're volatile, and then the country can actually control that itself. And then also right now they're in a state of deflation because of the recession, just like every other nation. Their inflation, they said it was at negative 1.6%. So with their negative deflation that's coming up, it's actually been rising to some prices. If you see their food has actually been rising, but some of their industry sectors have actually been going down. And then also to go along with that is that they're paying more for items because they have so much liquidity in circulation, and also the banks themselves control the money that's going around. So now it's actually been getting a little bit harder, and they're trying to ease up more money so they can actually pump more into the economy and start, as the so-called economic term was, the heating up the economy, which was before they were at like 11, 12, 13, 14%. They were just going into such huge numbers that they're not actually starting to actually...
No, hold it. They never went
No.
to 11.
To 11%? Their
Never
GDP?
went to, no.
Their inflation? I don't know.
GDP.
Maybe
Never.
Wikipedia was wrong, but...
Wikipedia is not the source.
Let's see what else is actually going on. And then also, one more thing you have to remember about China is that a bunch of their relationships, a bunch of things with business is their relationships. They have special terms when they get to know their customers or their employees. They're actually from business to business. They do a lot more business to business, and they build things on relationships. They don't really call them like, that's my business partner, or this is somebody else I've been doing business for a certain period of time. They actually build a bunch of their networking on like their friendships, which is called a Guangxi. Guangxi. And so that's their term. So the better you get to know with certain individuals and certain businesses, the more likely to do business. So that's why it's sometimes actually hard to enter some of the markets, because they already have set business relationships with a certain company that they don't have with others. And they'd rather know somebody and they're able to trust, and they can do more business with them. So that's why at times it's kind of hard trying to get into certain markets where they've been built on like 50, 60 years of knowing business with a company.
All right, some other questions or anything else? All right, thank you very much.